Alright guys, happy Friday. So just out here cleaning parts and just trying to figure out what's going on with this. But here is the number one piston right here. And if you notice right here, see that little scratch, the X, and then the little indentation right there? Here is the number one chamber. It has the exact same X, and then this is a slight little protrusion right there, tiny little thing. Of course, I'm going to sand that off of there before I put it back together. But so here's the stud for the alternator. That would be, my alternator's on the passenger side, so this is cylinder 1. But that leads me to believe, obviously that the piston was hitting the cylinder head, because if that's a protrusion there and we have the indentation here, so I think our quench was probably too tight. There's also some evidence, if you look on the side, down in this area of the pistons, and it's on quite a few of them. It's on this very top edge and this very bottom edge. That could be watching some of Ben Alamida's videos where if your quench is a little too tight, that can actually cause detonation in some of these areas. So maybe that's what happened there. And here's all the spark plugs. It's probably, as you see right there, that was probably burning off right there. So I don't know if we were a little lean or too much timing. The air fuel gauge from my data logs, if anything, it was on the rich side, but you never know. It could be lean and then rich, as far as what the short band versus the wide band, But nonetheless, and here's another telltale sign. I'll show you. This is the one rod bearing that got toasted, and if we look here, basically it is, I think this might be the one. This probably might be easier to see, but it was crushed. So, the detonation or whatever was slamming it down, and it was crushing. It was crushing on the top of the rod. So, and you can when I put my calipers on there, yeah, it's way fatter in the middle than the sides, and that's just from being crushed from detonation. So, and then this is a telltale sign we probably had our quench too tight. Was obviously the piston was probably kissing the bottom of the cylinder here. You can see the same exact marks. Boom, and then that little dot. So anyway, I'm going to go with a little bit thicker head gaskets this time. We had 30 thousandths chometics, and then when I measured, the pistons were 6 thousandths in the hole. That should have been adequate quench, 36 thousandths, but I'm going to bump it up. I'd rather lose a quarter point or half point compression and be safe and not have to tear it down again than to run it on the ragged edge and end up with the piston kissing the cylinder head. So, but at the machine shop, he said, 36,000 should be plenty, but I don't know, it's 7,000, and when things, thermal expansion and whatnot, but we have obvious signs here that something was kissing there, and quite a few of the pistons have this kind of dull area right on the edges there. So I think we had the quench too tight and was causing some detonation or something along that lines. But I don't think it was, obviously it was severe enough to take out one rod bearing, but obviously it didn't take out everything and nothing spun. That was another thing I was going to show is, on these bearings. So if a rod bearing, if it spins, it's going to take out the tang first right here. That seats it in place in the rod, and the tang is still in place here. Again, nothing spun on here, but obviously when this went out, it sent trash. It sent trash through the hole. It sent trash everywhere, so it had to be taken down and cleaned up, and you know, new bearings. He said the rings look fine. They still have you know, probably 50% of their life left. So I'm not sure if I'm going to replace those. Kind of be foolish not to, but these ring packs that go on these pistons it's like a $150 ring set. So I'm on the fence on that. We'll just see how long everything else takes, and you know, if I get to selling some of these EFI parts, and then sure, I'll go for it. But he said there's plenty of life left in those rings. At least looked like the second ring looked like there was 50% left, because that's the one that's got the Napier edge on it. So he said you probably are about halfway there. So those lasted a year and a half or something. So anyway, that's kind of where I'm at with that, and what I found with cleaning all these parts up and everything was, we probably had the quench too tight, and the tune-up was probably a little off, so had some detonation, and probably a little bit too thin of a head gasket. So we'll correct that this time, guys, and that's all we can do, and then we'll get back to the track. All right, hope everybody has a great weekend. Thank you.